Again, everybody, Chris Godfrey here. I'm all set to count down this week's 40 most played country songs in the nation, as compiled by Mediabase 24/7 for the week of June 22nd, 2024. Got one debut this week, but before we get to that, let's take a look back at last week's top three. At number 3 was Where It Ends by Bailey Zimmerman. Number 2 was Take Her Home by Kenny Chesney. And the number 1 song last week was Halfway to Hell by Jelly Roll. Now, can Jelly hang on to that number 1 spot again this week? We'll find out 39 hits from now. First, we'll get started with the latest by Chris Janson, spending a second week at number 40 with What You See Is What You Get. Slipping a spot to number 39, here's Zac Brown Band with Tie Up. And here's the week's only debut, coming in at number 38. It's a brand new one from Chris Stapleton called Think I'm in Love with You. And with that one debut, we say goodbye to one dropper falling out this week, Outskirts by Sam Hunt. On with the countdown, up 2 spots to number 37, here's Riley Green with Damn Good Day to Leave. Inching up 1 to 36, Dylan Marlowe and Dylan Scott with Boys Back Home. At number 35, moving up 1, it's Matt Stale with Break It in Boots. At number 34, moving up 1, Chris Lane with Find Another Bar. At number 33 again this week, here's George Burge with Cowboy Songs. Up 2 spots to 32, here's Kane Brown and Marshmello with Miles on It. Moving up 1 to number 31 is Dierks Bentley with American Girl. In just his 4th week in the countdown, he's up 1 to number 30, Thomas Rhett with Beautiful As You. Slipping back a spot to number 29, here's Dan and Shay with Bigger Houses. Up 2 spots to number 28, here's Zach Top with Sounds Like the Radio. Here's Dasha, up 2 spots to number 27 with Austin. Up 1 to number 26, Brett Young with Dance With You. Easing down a notch to number 25, 25th week in the countdown, here's Garth Brooks and Ronnie Dunn and Rodeo Man. And heading the spot the other way up to number 24, here's Parmalee with Gonna Love You. Moving up 3 spots to number 23, it's Luke Bryan with Love You, Miss You, Mean It. Inching up 1 to number 22, 13th week in the countdown, here's Keith Urban with Messed Up As Me. And for another week at number 21, here's Justin Moore, and This Is My Dirt. Easing down a spot to number 20 this week, here's Tim McGraw, One Bad Habit. Leaping 3 spots to number 19 is Shaboozey with a bar song. Up a couple this week to number 18, here's Lainey Wilson and Hang Tight Honey. At number 17, easing down a spot, here's Megan Maroney and I'm Not Pretty. Up 2 this week to number 16, it's Dustin Lynch and Jelly Roll with Chevrolet. Up a couple to number 15, here's Luke Combs with Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. And number 14, up a notch this week, 14th week in the countdown, here's Drew Baldridge and She's Somebody's Daughter. Inching up 1 to number 13, Chase Matthew with Love You Again. Here's a song that's been on the chart the longest at 46 weeks, up 1 to number 12, it's Carly Pearce and Chris Stapleton, and We Don't Fight Anymore. And just a step away from the top 10, here's Cody Johnson up a notch to 11 with Dirt Cheap. Alright, leading off our top 10 this week, Chris Young as he moves up 1 to number 10 with Young Love and Saturday Nights. For another week at number 9, here's Nate Smith and Bulletproof. Easing down a spot to number 8 this week, here's Jason Aldean with Let Your Boys Be Country. Easing down a spot to number 7 is Brian Martin with We Ride. And riding up 2 this week from number 8 to number 6, Morgan Wallen and Ernest with Cowgirls. Here's last week's number 1 down to number 5 this week, Jelly Roll with Halfway to Hell. And here's a recent number 1 hit, slipping a spot to number 4, it's Bailey Zimmerman and Where It Ends. Moving up 2 spots to number 3, 26th week on the chart, here's Ashley Cook with Your Place. The number 2 song this week, moving up 2 spots, Post Malone and Morgan Wallen with I Had Some Help. And the number 1 song in country music this week, taking 31 weeks to get here, and this becomes his 36th number 1 country hit. It's Kenny Chesney with Take Her Home. That is our countdown of the 40 most played country hits this week. Join me again next time. Once again, we'll count them down and find out who's got the number 1 song in the USA.